Voltron Network.
What's good, guys? Welcome back to Talking at the Movies. I'm Eddie Antonio.
And I'm Mo.
It's getting cold again, man. What the hell?
Cold? I'm sitting here in a t-shirt and no socks on.
Well, you were just running. Makes a difference.
It does. Gets the heart pumping.
Yeah, I gotta get back to exercise, man. Putting it off too long. Been waiting to the move, but shit. At this rate, sitting here till summer before anything happens. So.
Exactly. There's always an excuse not to start.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
today after work, I was like, I'm gonna curl up on the couch and not go.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, not a whole lot of news this week, but there's enough to really have a quick chat. So, Mo, how you been, dude?
May, listen, the amount. I was just thinking as I was putting like my list of what I've been watching together. I was like, we're in that age. One show ends. And another one comes along to take its place. It's like madness.
Straight away. Too much.
Straight away. And I really cannot wait to talk about. I think it was both a show you and I were kind of like, has this really got any legs? And we were kind of wondering, was Peacemaker going to be a one-trick pony? Oh my god.
Yeah, well, we talking Peacemaker, and we talking about Book of Boba Fett, the finale of Expanse, and Joss Whedon, what he's had to say. That I didn't get to.
Lois and Superman? No.
I was going to watch it today at work, but I thought, fuck it, I can't be. So
did you watch the Gemstones?
No. I've been watching. Well, we'll get to it. What have you been watching, Mo? You start.
Right, okay, fine. So I will start with the usual Star Trek Prodigy. This was a pretty good episode. We had them run into like a Ferengi in the Delta Quadrant. A Ferengi who had brought up like the main guy, basically was like his mentor and stuff, and they had this absolutely superb little story where they thought they were reuniting and they were having this great time, and they found out that this Ferengi was like a proper Ferengi, not like the Quark from Deep Space Nine with the heart of gold. This one was like profit, money, stab you in the back type thing. Yeah, it was really cool to kind of see that. Absolutely superb. What I do want to talk about, though, this is something that I've been really excited about, is How I Met Your Father. Premiered last night, 2 episodes. We're off the bat.
Go on.
Right, okay, so...
Be honest, Mo. Be subjective, come on.
I'm being subjective. I'm seeing a lot of revisionist history in a lot of the places. People are going, the first 2 episodes of How I Met Your Mother was great. That first season was a classic. And I'm thinking... That's not what the reviews were saying at the time. That show was always in danger of being cancelled in the first 4 seasons.
But it was still fun. I remember watching those first ones, and that wasn't like I had to struggle through any. I was into it straight away.
Different times, mate. I will say, I spent most of my time while I was watching these 2 being disappointed because I was like, where's the Barney character? Where's like the Robin? Where is the, my God, Jason Segel character? And I was like, okay, they can't redo the same people.
No,
they have to have different characters, right? And so that's going to take a while to get over. But I thought Hilary Duff. I've never really seen her in anything before.
She's likable. She's very likable.
She was good, and she is essentially Ted.
Yeah,
she is the Ted, right? Because it's like how she meets like her future husband and stuff. I see there.
After dating hundreds of other people along the way.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of this, right? There was one great moment, and I thought they kind of missed a beat, because there is a moment where she goes on a Tinder date, she thinks is the perfect guy, and he pulls the whole, I'm moving to Australia tomorrow. And I was like, please let this be a Barney type character, because that's the sort of thing he would do, right? He would do that kind of thing to get a woman into bed, but they didn't do that.
What? So what was he genuinely going to Australia?
He genuinely went to Australia.
Oh, missed the trip. Oh,
they really did.
Terrible writing, terrible show has to be off the strip for that.
So they are doing a lot of like this whole Gen Z kind of stuff in there, because I guess those are the guys that are going out and they're dating and all that kind of stuff. It's got a lot of potential. There is one spoiler in there that I'm not going to spoil. There is quite a big callback to something from the original, which I thought actually that's a nice little touch.
Well, the main thing, is it funny? Did you laugh?
It's got. Oh yeah, there were many times I laughed. There was this one moment where these 2 are. There is there is one of the female characters and one of the male characters. They've got the most ridiculous relationship. They met in London at the fashion show, and the chick, when she's going back to America, she goes, "Why don't you come like with me and live with me?" And like the way they describe their relationship is completely doomed from the start. And one of the characters literally goes, "Oh, look at these two trying so hard, even though they know the relationship is completely doomed." Yeah, there are some funny moments.
What's it
I
doing?
think it. They're just like literally, you've just met someone from another country and you've told them,
Yeah.
"Come with me and move in with me."
Yeah, that is crazy. That's the truth.
I think it will take a couple of episodes for it to find its feet. I think this does have potentially.
Yeah.
But the only problem I have is it's going to be 10 episodes where like How I Met Your Mom was 22.
Yeah, man. I don't think these studios wanna, unless you're CW. I don't think these studios wanna spend that much sort of money anymore, man. These actors cost too much, especially when it gets to the point where you have to pay them like $1 million per episode.
Yeah, but you still have to. You still have to fill their airtime, right? So surely it's cheaper to make more episodes of an existing show than finance another show.
I don't know whether it's going to be a hit yet, so you just want to throw as much shit at the wall as possible. That's the philosophy now.
Yeah.
What else?
Right. So the gemstones. Or the righteous gemstone, shall I say? Episode 3. Things are moving along swingingly. Obviously, I don't want to really kind of spoil it to you, but those kids, man, they are just absolute nutters. Especially I'm wondering if the little one, the young, the Adam Levine, whatever his surname is.
Levine,
I wonder if he's going to come out as gay. And the reason I say that is he's got in season 2, he's got a thing called the God Squad.
See,
right?
I presume you talk about the character, not the actual man, because he just got married. So that would be very.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I mean the character, not the actual actor. And the reason I say that is because he's got a thing called the God Squad, and the God Squad are like these guys that are totally and utterly like ripped. I mean, like these guys are like proper bodybuilders, right? They're always walking around like bare tops and stuff. And do you remember like his mate from the first season who he rescued?
Yeah.
He seems to be completely in love with him, right? And there are just things that are going on. You're kind of thinking, this guy's gonna. I'm sure they're working towards that storyline. Because all they do is work out and they sweat together, and he like, I'm asserting my dominance on all of you.
Hell, I gotta get you after this, man.
It's brilliant. Love it. And we have the welcome return of Lois and Superman.
I will get into this, but I want you to. I heard from us that it's a pretty impressive first episode, especially how it ends. He didn't ruin it, but he said that it ends pretty.
I don't know actually what happens at the end, because that might mean something to like avid comic book readers. I didn't kind of get what that actually was. I wouldn't say it was an impressive episode. It set the scene for season 2. Not a lot happened in it. But there's definitely some political stuff going on now as well with Superman, because obviously Superman says, "I'm not an American. My allegiance is to the world."
Yeah, that ruffled a few feathers.
Yeah, it did indeed.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, as I said last week, even though my internet did go down for a couple of days, so I didn't really get to do the big binge that I was hoping to do, but I did start back on Lost, and it is nice getting back into it where it's familiar characters, but at the same time, I've completely forgotten where a lot of those storylines ended up before I jumped off. So I'm actually looking forward to kind of getting deeper into this. I watched a couple of those. And I'm definitely... Who was it last week that wrote in?
It was John.
So John, yeah. Well, I'm going to be powering through all of this, so don't you worry. I will not be
how far did you... how many episodes in did you get?
I can't remember where it finished, because I was just one after the other. But
did it all come flooding back to you, or you were like, I don't remember this and I don't remember that?
Certain things and certain characters, but others I've just completely forgotten. So yeah, there's still some mystery there, which I like. And it's interesting, because I remember watching it originally and feeling like, oh my God, this is, because it was like the most expensive TV show at the time when it first came out. And I remember feeling like, at the time, back in the day, feeling like, wow, this is like a movie. And now it's just like a standard TV show, really, compared to what everything else is nowadays. But, the quality still there. So Lost.
Very, very character-driven show, that one.
Anybody else want to jump along with this?
I do remember back in the day, we got Salem to watch it, and he like gave up like after like halfway through season 1. He goes, I can't. It's a bit boring. He goes, nothing happens. wonder if he and his missus sit down now and watch it. I bet you they would power through that.
Yeah, I do too. I
Suggest
definitely
it
do
to
too.
him.
I will. So yeah, there's that. And I finally decided to make a start. I think I only watched like 2 so far. Like I said, my internet went down, but 2 episodes on the show, which I kept promising to watch, that I've just got fed up of hearing other people talking about that they've been watching. Killing Eve. And it is not the show I thought it was. For some reason, I thought it was a medical drama.
What?
About
No.
a love affair between these 2
Well,
women.
because killing, like Eve was going around killing people in the hospital. Is that what you thought?
I don't know why. I just thought Sandra Oh, I think that's the name. I thought she was a doctor, and I thought it was some, just a romance
Is it
between
like a
these 2.
spy thriller or something?
Yeah, Sandra Oh's like works for the MI5. Yeah. It's strange that American works for the MI5, but yeah. And Jodie, is it Jamie? Jodie Comer? She's like this Russian assassin that suddenly comes up on their radar because she kills a few key targets that they're after. And dude, she's so good. Already knew this, but see now she can just flip flop between these. She's speaking Italian, sounding fluent, French, Russian to English. Like Jodie's a frigate, and she's a Scouser, and that's a distinctive accent on its own that you have to try and cover. Scousers are Liverpudlian from Liverpool, guys. If you're unaware. And yeah, she's great, man. And this show's good. I like it.
So would you recommend this then?
Yes, I would. If you want something, because how many seasons? Like 3, I think.
There aren't that many episodes. And they're probably also like 6 episodes per season or something.
Probably.
I say season, probably more accurate to say series.
Probably. Yeah, it's like a co-production between like a US and UK.
Yeah.
Studio. But yeah.
Oh right. So does it look like it's had money spent on it?
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's not cheap. And literally, like when I say that she's speaking these different languages, she's doing it because she's in these countries. Like that's why I was sitting there wondering, like, how they can't keep this. They must be covering up and just using different locations, pretending it's one place or another. But it distinctively, when she's in Italy, it looks like Italy with the buildings. And when she's
but they're really good at doing that, though.
No, but we're seeing establishing shot. The architect is very distinct in these countries, and you're not seeing like tight. Where they pretend Toronto's New York. We're not seeing that sort of shitty CW's type of filming. It's like wide angle shots where you see in the traffic. It's thumbs up. I'm liking it. I'm gonna be burning through that one as well. And nice. Want something else to watch? A little smarter. I think that might be worth getting.
Might have to. It definitely is on my list to watch.
Yeah.
Of things to watch, rather.
And I think I'm gonna have to add another one because I'm getting fed up of hearing about this Yellow Jacket. It's supposed to be this amazing show, but I think I'm gonna have to get onto that one as well now.
I was reading about that today. It didn't kind of really sound that enticing.
But people love it. It's bad. It's popping up in all these different things. So I'm thinking, what's the fuss?
You can watch that. I think I might go and try it. I sent you a trailer today, The Great. I might watch that because that looks hilarious.
Yeah, 2 seasons of that. I think season 2 just came out like a couple of months ago. Yeah. So that's mainly what I've been watching. A few films, but not really worth mentioning. I want to get into the big shit. Book of Boba Fett.
Boba.
I didn't like this week's one more.
You didn't?
I didn't.
I thought this week's was great.
Nah, it didn't feel Star Warsy at all.
No, it does.
That cyberpunk biker gang was completely out of place. They were not Star Wars, man.
I don't know if they look out of place.
How they have no money. How they have no money, have to pay for water, but they have these brand new off of the factory lot chrome.
Well, that's why they've got no money, because they bought their bikes. They're proper kids. That's what you would do, right?
It just didn't fit. It just didn't work at all. It was just, and Boba Fett is turning. Maybe it's just this episode feels like it's exposing him, but he just seems too lame now. Like I loved Boba Fett as a kid because he was a badass, and he's just too much of a.
He is a badass though.
Softy now. He's not anymore, man.
He is, man. Did you see like how he went after those kids? And now he's gonna, but he's recruiting his army, right? Because he had no backup.
It's supposed to be the Daimo, and I'm seeing nothing gangster about him.
Yeah, but what's like he's now gonna fight? What's those guys? Those guys that have just arrived on. I can't remember what they're called now. Yeah,
this wasn't great. I think it's Robert Rodriguez. He's the weak link in this because he did the first episode. He did the first episode as well, and this
was a good episode. Eddie.
So
the fight with the Wookiee.
Yeah, it was fun. That's just the fight scene. That's not story stuff.
Oh, we know, we never really labored on the Wookiee in the last episode.
Yeah, he
That's
does look cool.
He's a really
Yeah,
cool looking
he
Wookiee,
does
right?
look cool.
Like you would not want to mess with that guy because he would tear you from limb to limb.
You still kind of want to hug him, though. Come on.
Yeah,
So
he's well
cuddly.
cute. Oh, what about the Rancor? Like the little gift that the Hutts brought.
Oh yeah, and he wants to ride it. What the fuck?
Oh well, if someone came and dumped like that massive animal and said, "Look, here's a gift," you'd be like, "What the fuck do you want me
Yeah,
to
the gift
with
that Machete brought. Didn't it weird seeing that actor suddenly just pop
Danny,
up
what's his name?
Trejo
Yeah.
or something. Yeah. See, that's how you know it's Robert Rodriguez because he gets that guy for everything.
Everything, yeah.
It's insane.
Brilliant.
But even he fit better than a bloody biker gang. That was just not.
No, I've got to say, I do like that biker gang because like suddenly you think they're going to be nothing, right? But then all of a sudden they're like rushing in there, they're saving their new Lord and Master from like the Wookiee.
And why would they? Like he's done what? He's got them.
He's given them a place to live. He's giving them water. He's going to give them money and jobs to do.
I want to see him command
That's
their
what people
respect
want.
though by doing something like witnessing him be a badass. Like
that's how you command respect. You treat your people with respect.
Fear. You
bring
fear.
them.
You kill their family
See,
and tell them you're going to do the same
because
to them. That's how.
No, you'd be terrible because they'd just be trying to kill you off in your sleep. Then I'd be like, "We'll take it from him."
I've got the two green pigs around him. I keep forgetting what those things are called as well. Yeah, this was a weaker one for me. Not saying that it's completely shit, but it just just didn't fit for me. I'm starting to worry about where the series is going because they were promising it was going to be more like a Godfather in Star Wars. I'm not getting
It's a little bit. Didn't you feel like real? Didn't you feel real emotion like watching Boba come back to like his tribe and they were all
the Tusken Raiders? They friggin' spent all this time building those things up for us to give a shit about these people, and then in this episode he just turns up and they're all just dead, just ashes.
Yeah, there was a real emotional heart. Like you build them up and then you bowl them over.
Didn't even see it. It happened off screen. It's like what the hell?
Yeah, so but you see it from Boba's point of view, right?
Yeah, that he did get them killed. He should have just left well alone.
It's a really odd thing because they essentially kidnapped him.
Yeah,
it's like what's it? Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, he fell in love with his captors. Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. The Expanse season finale. I get what you were saying.
Nope. Series finale, not season finale.
Series, yes, you're right.
Done.
This is it. This is it. Unless there's
potentially all we're gonna get. I'm just assuming. I was reading some stuff today. I'm just assuming this was just not a hit on Amazon. Hence why they've decided not to move forward with more.
I get it's expensive. You can see that.
Yep.
So obviously, yeah, it wasn't the return one.
Although having said that, some of it really looked like a video game. This in this last episode, right? The bit where they're on that little station and they're looking through like their viewfinders.
Yeah, that
really looked video. Yeah,
some Halo shit going on
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. They really shouldn't have bothered with that whole stuff with the little girl and those healing dog things. It was just we got no resolution to that, so it was pointless with this zombie kid walking around.
Exactly. You get nothing about that one either, right? Now we don't like what's happened. You do get that throwaway line in last week's episode, but like it's just a weird thing.
Nothing. It was just pointless. I guess they just wanted to do it for the book readers that maybe wanted to see this shit, but but beyond that, it was exciting to see the final end of Mr. Eyeliner himself.
And he kind of met such an easy end in the end.
It kind of was. You wanted it to be face to face with, the key protagonist, not just from the gate, from these entities that still haven't even been defined properly.
I wasn't even sure what actually happened to his ship, to be honest. I know they detonated a whole bunch of things, which I guess caused like some sort of like reaction.
Yeah, when too much mass moves through the ring at once, it awakens these things, which we still not really even know what they properly are.
Yeah.
It pisses them off and they just destroy the ships. That's all that red.
So, do we actually know that they're destroyed, or hasn't like phased through into like another dimension?
Well, we saw a pretty close up of his face as he was getting disintegrated as it was going through. All these little worms and shit. So
And then you see that little cutaway thing in the right at the end,
Again,
where
what's the
Philip
point?
got away.
Might as well let him die. Because what's the point? God, it's like they're setting up new storylines that they can't even give us resolution to. So what's the point?
Such a shame. Are you happy with the overall everything else? I mean, I wish it just been 10 minutes longer and you got to see what happened to like some of the other characters.
I wish it was 10 episodes longer so we have to really get to know what happened to these characters.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
but it
what
kind
happened
of
to Amos and Peaches? Did they get it together?
it just doesn't. Yeah, and I want to know if what's the Mars chick called?
Bobby.
I want to know if Amos and Bobby ended up getting it off, because remember he was saying that he was cooking, fucking and drinking, and he's saying, "You wanna come?" She looked like she was contemplating this. I want to know what went down there. That's the scene I would like to. I'm not being perverted just because of the personalities of those two characters. I want to see how that would go down. Would they like fighting each other, like fight sex? That's a good thing.
It was good to see what's his name, Holden. He literally was playing the long game, right? He had like the proper end game in mind when they put him in charge of like oh god, I can't remember what the title that they gave him, the overseer or whatever. And what's her name? Avasarala was so annoyed with him, like.
Asshole.
And drummer becomes like the champion, right? The peacemaker, the kingmaker.
Yeah, and the Belters control the rings. They needed power rather than just being workers. Now they actually have something that they have power over. So that was good. I don't mind where those things went. I just wanted more of it. I want to see the results of
Such a shame. You'd think if that's like Bezos's like favorite show, you would say, I don't care how many people are watching it. I'm like so rich, I'll finance another season out my own fortune. And it'd probably be like the same as you and I going to like a really expensive steak dinner, right?
Yeah. It'd be nothing. Like, how much would he even need? Like, I'm sure they could do a season with for like what, 20 mil? That's nothing.
No, it'd probably need a bit more than 20 mil. But like if I was that rich, and we are talking like it's an unbelievable number, I would bankroll my own favorite shows.
20 mil's enough for 5-6 episodes. That's enough.
Another season. But I think from my understanding is that the next season would be the next set of books, which are set like 20 or 30 years in the future.
Yeah, I'm very tempted to start using up my Audible account, my tokens to actually see where this story goes.
I was kind of considering getting the books and just reading them the old-fashioned way.
Read? In your head?
In your head, with your eyes.
Paper in your hands?
No, I had a Kindle.
Oh, you got one of those?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Yeah. From work? Or you actually bought it?
No, that's mine.
Okay. So, what do you give this season overall?
It's a very enjoyable season. I just think it is a little bit short, a little bit rushed. I'd give it a 4 because there wasn't really any filler. It was all go. Love the characters, love the situations. Just like you said, I just wish there was more. And I guess, actually, if a show goes out and you want more, that means it's gone out on a high, right? Unless, like, oh my god, I'm so glad that's over now.
True. Until 10 years from now, they do the reunion show and they resurrect it and it just sucks. That often happens too much. Every show can't be like Dexter where they actually stick the reunion show.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let's go on to the big one this week, or one of the big ones. The new boy in town, John Cena's and James Gunn's The Peacemaker.
Greatest opening titles of any show ever.
No, come on.
Come on, dude. That is hilarious. Come on. Where is your sense of fun?
Apparently, they change every episode. I have been skipping them, so I don't.
Do they? Apparently, there is also a post-credit sequence every episode. I only saw episode 3.
Same here. But it wasn't even really a post-credit. It was more just an alternative.
Yes, from something that had happened in the episode. Yeah.
But we went into this feeling like the trailers didn't look that impressive, or I did at least. Looking kind of cheap, but I gotta say, this is a hell of a lot of fun, man.
It is a lot of fun. And I like the fact that it's not just all about like the running around and killing stuff, right? They are literally exploring the character and like the characters around him.
He's having
and building on the lore.
He's having crisis of identity, crisis of identity. He's questioning his moral gauge how he's been living up until this point. Because he seems to be a little bit bothered by killing kids now, especially considering his whole mantra was I'm gonna achieve peace no matter how many men, women, and children I have to kill to achieve it. Now he's not really about that. I think that's why they added vigilante, because that's basically him now. He didn't give a shit. He stepped in, started shooting at family.
The way he just goes,
and
like,
he's
taps him
singing
on the shoulder.
Yeah, and he's like humming to himself.
Suicide fan. It's it literally carries on. So it literally carries on from the end of Suicide Squad 2. In fact, literally, it's like
has a recap from
but
the film.
I think if you haven't seen Suicide Squad 2, you can probably still watch this and get by from the recap, because there's nothing in that film.
It gives you enough.
Yeah.
It gives you enough information.
I love all the characters around him as well, right? So all the people that he works with, they've all got really unique personalities and quirks, and they've got all their own little things going on. There's like a bigger mystery that we're not quite sure of what's happening.
Butterflies. Damn, when that was literally, we can get into it. Literally, they're taking out butterflies. It's not even I guess it's some sort of alien creature or something, but they literally butterflies.
It could be robots.
But no, it's organic. They're butterflies.
It looked like a mechanical robot.
Why would the mechanical robot be an organic thing? They might as well make robot people. Might as well just make robot people.
Oh, so they can control like the proper politicians and stuff, right?
I reckon these butterflies nest in people's heads as larvae, and then they just control people from the inside. It's basically what Marvel wanted to do with the Secret Wars and the whole Secret Invasion thing. Like James Gunn basically said, "Fuck you, Marvel, firing me. This is what you get." I enjoyed the hell out of this, man. I want to know where the story of his dad's gonna go though.
Because they completely omitted that in episode 3. So that looks like it's quite a fun thing. Apparently, I read something today that they came up with that idea for that character like on the set of like Suicide Squad 2.
What, the dad?
Yeah. Oh no, I don't know if it was the dad. You know what's the dad's got? That's that other name, Red Dragon or something. Yeah. I think that it was that part of it.
Wow. What else stood out to you about episode 3? Because we saw that one. We saw the first 2 together, but the third one.
It's just more of the same, right? It was just proper laughing and joking, and so number 3 is the one where they actually went to kill the butterflies, right?
Yeah, the family.
Yeah.
We had the little guy, the little bodyguard.
Oh my god! When he goes like, "Who's he gonna protect?" I don't know. Oh, with the Cheetos, where he's sitting there, goes, "Can I have a Cheeto?" And he's like, "Boom." And there's that bit where he gets up and he kicks the Cheeto at him as
well. When he starts torturing Vigilante as well.
Nuts.
He's like, "I'm not gonna talk. I don't care what you do."
I gotta say,
cutting off his toe.
Oh yeah, and he goes like, "Why won't it cut?" And it's like, "Cause it's a blunt ass knife."
Now, it was informed me that the actor originally that played up until halfway through this season, he got Me Too'd apparently for doing something.
Who?
The vigilante actor. So they had to replace him with someone else. Now, I haven't looked it up. I probably should have done that in the time between then and now. But I don't know whether they went back and reshot this scene. Because it's literally, this is the only time you actually see his face, so they could have gotten away with just doing this. So I have to look that up. But original actor must be kicking himself.
Or I guess they could digitally manipulate it, right?
Maybe. I don't know. This show doesn't look like it has like the Disney. Doesn't look like it has the budget of what the Disney Plus shows have.
But I've got to say, it doesn't look cheap though.
It doesn't look expensive either. It's kind of in that middle. You know,
it looks. It looks like
using the money.
A well done, good. There's nothing cheap looking about it.
It's in a small town. They're not in the big city, so they're cutting corners where they can.
I've got to say, man, I just really, really, really enjoyed it. Absolutely, just took me so by surprise. And I know we're only like 18 days into the year, but my God, this is like the best show so far this year, right? By a country mile. James Gunn, just what an awesome, just genius, talented guy he is, right?
Seems like he's just having fun. And how much better is John Cena this time around?
You know what? The chemistry that he has with that blonde girl is just amazing. I just really love The way those two are on screen together.
Yeah, whole crew. Thumbs up. I'm looking forward to this one, man. Seeing where this
Two
goes.
thumbs up. Two
Oh,
thumbs
yeah.
up.
So, oh damn, trailers again. Didn't check out, but what big was there this week that I needed to see?
So you got Moon Knight, which
Yeah, I did
you
see
need
that.
to bloody explain to me now. So explain to our viewers who is Moon Knight. So
Oh
Moon Knight is
man,
a MCU Disney Plus show.
I'm only gonna get into that. There have been various iterations of it, how he gets his abilities, but the broad strokes is that he has multiple personalities. The man, and one of those is Moonlight. But there are other versions of Moonlight within him that have slightly different names. But whether they're gonna go there in this first season, I don't know.
So
But
how does that make him a superhero? So like one of his
what
personalities is a superhero.
one of them is like I believe it's been so long. I was a little kid when I was reading the Moon Knight. I kind of dropped off of him as a
I
teenager. But I
think
think one
they
of them is like an ancient god or ancient spirit, Egyptian
right.
spirit, because you saw that he worked in the British Museum. So that's
Yep.
the kind of link to some artifact that kind of triggers that
They
entity.
kind of are showing in this trailer that he definitely is a person who has a lot of problems in life, right? So
Oh
I'm
yeah,
assuming
yeah,
that is the multiple personality part. And there's
yeah,
that bit where he's on the phone and he's
yeah,
like, "Why are you calling me Mark or whatever it is?"
yeah. I forget whether it's the whatever artifact he finds that triggers it, or whether he always had these issues and it's like destined to
Mhm.
be it. I forget all those details. I'll look it up. I'll research. Or maybe I won't. Because I like the fact that I'm going into this as fresh as anybody else, kind of forgetting the details of it. But it looks cool though. A lot of people even again, you just hate you
No,
just
no, 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 no. It looks interesting. I'll give it that. There's nothing in that trailer that says, "Oh my god, I must watch this," right? But there is some very interesting imagery in this trailer. There's that bit where there's that guy with the long hair and everyone is bowing to him. You've got like the pyramids. You've got him like falling out. So there's some very interesting stuff. I won't say I'm like, oh my god, I'm completely blown out and I've got to watch that. I will because I've completely forgot to cancel my subscription, so it renewed for another year.
I gotcha. Well, for what I'm on here, a lot of people were just fooled in that they thought it was a movie because it actually looked the quality in the trailer was that
Well, that's probably
high,
because
but
it's got like Oscar Isaac and Ethan Hawke and
that too.
yeah,
It's gonna be
yeah.
good to see Oscar Isaac as part of the MCU. That's cool.
My only quibble here is this is starting March 30th. I think Boba's only got like 6 or 7 episodes from what I understand. What the hell are they going to show us in between?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Films.
Nothing. So I could have like cancelled my subscription and then restarted.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, I'm into this. Looks good to me. I can't even wait, and I'm curious to see what, if anything, carries over from other MCU properties into this. You know, they always
Or
sneak something in.
yeah, or will this carry on into other things, or will this be its standalone? Because it kind of seems like a pretty unique character, right? Like
Mm.
I'm the character with multiple personalities, and one of them is an ancient god.
I wonder if they're going to keep. I wonder if they're going to keep him in London. That's actually an interesting twist to a Marvel character that they're kind of based over here.
Yep.
Before we find some
Is
reason to go to
is
the
that
US.
because there's some truth to these rumors that we're hearing about Captain Britain
Oh,
and Henry Cavill?
do you think that'll work though? Just the name, Captain Britain. I don't
Yep.
think it's never worked for me. Even as a kid,
Yeah.
it never worked. It just doesn't roll off the tongue the same way.
Well, I mean, unless like Disney want to get a bit more diverse, right, and they start having characters for specific countries to like basically generate more revenue.
Yeah, we'll see. So, Mo, tell me about X.
Oh, right. So this is an A24 movie. I thought I'd put this trailer in here because you love A24, right? And
I
anything that they
do.
do. So this actually the trailer. I'm just such a shame you haven't watched the trailer already because it does look like a really cool film. So it's basically it's set in the 70s. Looks like these people want to go off to Hollywood and become famous. They stumble across this farm. The farmer goes like, "You guys can stay here." It looks like they're filming like an adult movie or something.
I'm in. Just stop right there. I'm in.
You're in, and then you find out things on this farm aren't all they seem, and the farmer indicates that something happens at night with his wife,
What the?
and then it turns into like a horror film.
Love it.
Trailer actually looks really good.
You sold me. I'm great. I'm in. I'm in. A24 could do no wrong.
Surprised you didn't watch it. Yes. Tell
And
me
it's
you watched.
No, but ain't this just? I keep seeing this about, but isn't this just another Korean zombie movie of series or whatever the
They
heck it is?
apparently they are like the masters of the zombie stuff at the moment. Like they are really good. Like all the zombie shows that they have seem to be quite popular.
Yeah, it's too much now.
No,
Man, the
but this one
Kingdom was
act.
decent.
Did you see the trailer for this? It
No,
actually looked pretty damn good.
I'm burnt out on zombies, man. I'm sick of them. Bring back vampires. Or werewolves. It should be the werewolf era now. Come on, there's not enough werewolves going on.
Oh, I don't know. Are werewolves really that interesting?
Make them
They
interesting.
Teen Wolf was pretty good, I guess.
You
When,
going
when
back to
what
you going back to the
what
80s or the
interest
2000s, man.
what interesting wolves did we have after that?
Underworld did okay things with it.
Uh,
The war between lichens and the vampires. Let's reboot Underworld. That's what I want.
uh, yeah, I gotta say, man. I mean, I've not too. There's even a line in the trailer where the guy goes like, "This is the train to Busan."
Oh fuck's sake!
Yeah, I gotta say, it's a bit shame you didn't watch the trailer because it does look very, very good.
What fresh take on the whole zombie thing have they done? What's
So
different?
in this one, I think they I don't know if there's anything fresh, but like the zombies seem to be a lot more terrifying than your like slow kind of zombies. So they're
Oh,
they're like
fast
the
zombies.
faster, more terrifying type thing. And I think from the trailer, it's people aren't like, oh my god, what's a zombie? They kind of like know what to do type of thing. I thought that was quite refreshing. You know, like normally like
Mm.
I've never seen a zombie movie before. What the hell's going on here?
I know. You can get away with that in the 70s, but not no more.
Yeah.
Right. So let's get into the news. Well, Rudy
Right. So,
Nye's misconduct claims. Talk us through it.
as he would, obviously, right? So, Mr. Whedon, Josh to his fans, did a lengthy interview quite recently with I can't remember which publication it was actually. It
New
is yeah,
York
so
Post or something?
The New York Magazine, right? So
New Yorker.
in it, he denies ever having like threatened Godot's career.
Of course
So he
he
goes,
did.
yeah, but what the way he says it though, listen to this, right? I did not threaten people. Who does that? English is not her first language, and I tend to be annoyingly flowery in my speech. He told the publication that the pair argued over a scene that Gadot, who played Wonder Woman in the film, wanted cut. He said he jokingly told her she would have to tie his body to a railway track and do it over his dead body, and the Israeli actress had misunderstood that to mean he was threatening to tie her to the track. But Gadot told the New York Magazine there was no such misunderstanding. I understood perfectly.
Yeah. He
And then
basically,
he goes on to talk about Ray Fisher.
oh yeah, that he's a bad actor. Just straight out the saying it. He's just not
Oh!
good. Which is like,
He goes, we're talking about a
dang.
malevolent force. The, what was it saying? He says, we are talking about a bad actor in both senses.
Now, come on. I haven't. Obviously, Ray Fisher's kind of torpedoed his own career with the way he carried on with his response to the whole Justice League thing. But
Yep.
he was good in the Snyder Cut. We got a lot
Yeah,
more of
oh
him,
yeah, oh
and he was
god,
good.
yeah, I wouldn't say he was a bad actor at
And didn't
all.
you see him in something else? Wasn't he in some
Did
other
I?
film that you saw?
I have no idea.
Some
I can't.
Malcolm X flick.
Was Ray Fisher in something else? I cannot remember.
No, you think, but yeah, dude, cold blooded, and he's coming
Uh,
across rude even just in this because he said the whole
oh
cast
yeah,
was rude.
absolutely. Oh yeah, yeah. Because you should see how because then he talks about Charisma Carpenter as well, and he always goes, no. He goes, I was. He goes, I may have been casually cruel over her pregnancy. He
Casually
goes,
cruel.
oh no, sorry. She claimed he had a. Sorry, I've read that wrong. That's what she was saying. What he said was he was not mannerly about her pregnancy. But he because most of my experiences with charisma were delightful and charming. Um, the way he finishes it
Damn.
though, the director who told the publication he has post traumatic disorder from the events of his childhood, admitted in the
Oh, here we
article
go.
that he could have handled his job and his marriage better. He has numerous affairs with colleagues and fans, but still believes he is one of the greatest showrunners ever. Now, actually, you can't dispute that because the man did have a way of like turning stuff to gold at one point.
To a degree, yeah.
Yeah.
Dollhouse, meh, not quite.
That's a man who
there's way too
just believes his
much.
own bullshit.
Yeah, there's way too much smoke, man, to feel like there ain't no fire there. Because
Oh
this
no.
is too
Oh,
much
absolutely.
shit.
When your entire cast from your biggest show all turn on you,
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
you know, yeah,
yeah. They all got stories.
yeah.
And in the end, this was saying that, in the beginning of the internet, it rose me up, and now in the later days of the internet, they've torn me back down again. So
It's no one's pulled you back down. If you hadn't acted like that, no one would be able to do that to you, right?
exactly. Don't be an arsehole. Simple. It's easy. It ain't hard.
Yeah.
What's it saying that it should just be
It's
every
yeah.
billboard across Hollywood should just say that. Don't be an arsehole.
Be an
Just to remind
asshole.
people. Just
No, because isn't the whole thing about America? If I want to be an asshole, I can be an asshole.
that's politics. A little different.
I am free to do so. I think is what I really mean.
Do as I wilt. Quantum Leap. It's your show, Mo. Talk us
Woo!
through it.
So apparently, I don't know if we've actually had like confirmation yet, but like they're in really advanced stages of um, basically rebooting Quantum Leap at NBC for Peacock. I would
Now,
imagine,
Mo,
right?
if
Their streaming
you're
service.
just for anybody's below the age of 20 right now, and they have no idea what the fuck is Quantum Leap.
If
What
you've
is
never
Quantum
seen
Leap about?
Quantum Leap, first of all, you had a terrible, terrible childhood by not being able to see this amazing show. So, Quantum Leap is essentially the show of Dr. Sam Beckett, who had a theory, a string theory, where somebody could leap from one moment in time to another within their own lifetime. So, in order to prove his theory, Dr. Sam Beckett stepped onto the Quantum Leap accelerator and vanished. When he awoke, he found himself in the body of another. I'm struggling to remember the words now. So essentially, this guy travels through time, but instead of his physical body,
And place.
and they really play fast and loose with that rule because sometimes it's his body and sometimes it's only his
Oh,
mind.
really?
Yeah, because do you remember? Oh, I'll tell you in a minute. So he essentially leaps into the body of other people and has to solve something that's gone wrong in their life in order to leap to the next mission,
And he's
hoping that
hoping,
each leap will be the
yeah,
leap home.
yeah,
Yeah,
that he'd eventually find his
yeah.
way back home. Yeah, so
Now, when I
basically, he was
say
just taking over people's bodies for
yeah,
episode to
essentially,
episode.
yeah. And imagine like those poor people when they come back, their whole lives have changed, right?
Yeah,
Imagine all the PTSD that those guys would suffer. Now, when I say they play hard and fast with the rules, sometimes it's not his body, because like he's pregnant as a woman, but sometimes he's an amputee who can still stand up.
oh yeah, I
Do you
remember
remember
that.
that? Do you
I
remember that
remember
episode?
that.
It's like I was going, Sam, I think you should rise to the occasion.
Oh man, that you. Yeah,
It's a show that is essentially an anthology show. This is why Belizares did the show. He goes for years. He wanted to do an anthology show, and time travel was just the perfect way to do it. Right? You had these two characters. I think originally he wanted different characters every episode, right? But he came up with this whole concept of like Sam leaping, and was able to sell that to the networks.
yeah. When we say two characters, there was also like this. Oh,
Hologram that only
yeah,
Sam can
basically.
hear and see.
Who was a person who was real, but he was anchored in the future, but he was able to kind of visit Sam wherever he
In
was.
the
And,
imaging chamber.
yeah, and they may be bringing this back. Pilot order from NBC. So, what twist are they gonna put onto this?
So I think the fan favorite would always be that Mary Jo Fuller, who Sam fathered. So do you remember there was a three-part episode where he kept leaping into like the same era? It's called Trilogy. Okay, 3 episodes. Trilogy's part 1, 2, and 3. And at one point, and again, this is where they play hard and fast with the rules. He basically fathered a child. Or essentially he did the act that a father would need to do, and then in the future, at the end of the episode, Sam is told um, that woman gives birth to a daughter called Mary Jo Fuller, who now works at Project Quantum Leap.
Whose body was he in at the time?
He was in some guy's body,
So
but
then
but
it's not his
remember,
kid.
yeah. But like I said, they play fast and hard. No, fast and loose. Fast and loose with that rule. Because sometimes it is his body. Because how could an amputee stand with no legs?
But everybody, no, because yeah, it gets confusing. But that isn't his DNA. That should be part of that. Yeah, it gets crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, it does. It really depends on like who's writing and what they wanted.
A female lead this time.
I think the way the stuff is going, I wouldn't put it past them. Maybe like a female lead and a male hologram. Maybe even Scott Bakula. Although I'd imagine that it would be more about them trying to find Scott Bakula's character, right? Because he never came home.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot to go home at the end. Damn.
They've already done. Because in the original series, there were 3 episodes where they had the evil Leaper. So they've already done like a female Leaper and a female hologram.
Oh.
I don't know what they were trying to say back in the 90s where the evil Leaper was a woman.
It's pretty clear. What was their friggin' mission then? What the hell were they trying to do?
They were the opposites, right? Exactly. So they, instead of putting what once went wrong, put it right. They were supposed to put things wrong. So in the first time you meet them, he leaps into Jimmy. Do you remember Jimmy, the retarded guy?
Yeah. Can't say that.
So they
but go ahead.
You can't say that. Sorry. I think that's what they say in the episode. Sorry, guys. I think the evil Leapers are there to try and get Jimmy institutionalized.
Wow. Yeah, there was this weird sort of semi-religious undertone to the whole thing. That he was kind of working on the side of good and God or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's a theory that they go like, we don't know who's doing this. It's like probably the big guy upstairs.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see this come back if they actually may put some decent effort into this.
Yeah. Maybe even if they try and explain actually what happened in the original experiment. Was it like, do we find out at the end it was Sam leaping himself around all the time and he just didn't remember? Something going wrong with the computer, something like that.
Or was Sam just a guy in a mental institution? Just split personality disorder.
Every single episode was like him.
Just another personality. How many episodes in this whole thing?
So the original series had something like 96 episodes or something.
Ooh, so 96 personalities. Busy. It's crowded in there. Damn. On to another IP that's looking to be resurrected right now. Whoa.
So we've got, what's it? National Treasure. Nicolas Cage. Disney Plus.
With no Nicolas Cage.
It's without Nicolas Cage. So basically, the big, like, probably, is this his biggest franchise? Probably is, right? No, he's never done sequels, really.
I think it's his only franchise. What other sequels has he done? Because
he's had some big hits, but they were all singles, right? So you think about like The Rock, Con Air, Leaving Vegas.
Yeah, this is his only.
Vegas. Yeah, I think these are the only ones. Yeah, it's his only franchise.
You want to read the synopsis for this?
So the synopsis is, let's have a look. So the series centers on Jess, a Latina whose brilliant and resourceful mind loves a good mystery, and she has a natural talent for solving puzzles. Over the course of the show, Jess will uncover her own buried history as well as a truth about her parents and her connection to a long-lost treasure. Smith will play FBI agent Ross. Ross was top of the class at Quantico and was given a top assignment in DC, but after she made a near-career-ending mistake, she was reassigned to the Baton Rouge field office. When Jess and Tasha show up at her office asking for help, it's Ross's chance to prove herself by uncovering the truth about Jess and her mysterious connection to the treasure.
Yeah, so basically they flipped it. Got female leads.
I don't really like this whole they flipped it, they got female. It's just female leads. They've just decided.
No, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But it is getting a bit typical. It's kind of the typical, we're going to bring something back. What do? We'll flip it, either ethnically or genderly. And it's just
I don't know, Eddie. Would you rather look like a man actor, or would you rather just look at some beautiful female actors?
Female actors.
There you go. See?
Not gonna lie. But yeah, I guess, if you were a big fan of Nicolas Cage, this is only really National Treasure in name only, to be honest.
I wonder if he will cameo.
It's a series.
Yeah.
Disney Plus. I don't.
Yeah. He needs money. This man says no to nothing. Literally, he says. In fact, I reckon if you and I wrote a script and we could fund it and we could meet his asking price, he would be in it.
I think you're right in that one. He says no to nothing. But yeah, I did actually try watching National Treasure again the other day. I didn't even try. I did watch the whole film.
Okay.
It didn't hold up as well as I remember it. I really
Really?
did enjoy those films, but it was a bit of a struggle.
So I haven't seen them since the cinema days. I saw, I think, both at the cinema, and I remember enjoying both of them, but
So
I've
did I.
never revisited them.
Maybe this is also coming off the back of watching Indiana Jones, the first one, also the other day. So that does hold up.
That's a classic. That is a
National
classic.
Treasure didn't quite. It just felt too small stakes for me. Just too, I don't know. Yeah, just didn't quite do it.
Interesting.
Does this interest you more?
I'll be honest, at the moment, there is so much of stuff. Until I see a trailer, I'll probably file this in B1N.
Really? So that's a no then.
I guess it could be interesting. It kind of depends what they're going for. Are they going for like that young teenager audience, or are they actually going for like a spectacular action show?
Yeah, you never know with Disney Plus because they can go both. I was actually out of curiosity going through some of their other original TV shows, and their Doogie Howser.
Have you watched any of that?
I kind of just wanted to see like the first 5 minutes just to get a gauge of what that was about.
I can't even pronounce the name of the character.
No. Doogie Howser exists as a TV show in the world of this show because they refer to the character. But the only thing I liked about it was it's in Hawaii. It's based in Hawaii, and it just looks so beautiful. Just I want to live there, man.
Hawaii's gorgeous. Is the original Doogie Howser on Disney Plus? Because I wouldn't mind watching an episode or two of that.
I don't know. Look for that. Guess it has to be if they've done a semi-remake.
Yeah. Because I only ever remember watching a handful of those episodes, but it is one of those sort of shows that is like very well known for that like period of time.
I didn't like it as a kid.
No?
It just seemed ridiculous.
No, not as a kid it did. And as a kid it was like, oh my god,
no,
I'm such an underachiever. Now as an adult, it does seem ridiculous.
Even as a kid, just seeing this kid who's a doctor in a hospital.
Because you're like, oh my god, he's so clever. And he was like,
to do.
Yeah. That's like the dream, right? Like you could be so clever that you'd like live with the grown-ups would have to listen to you.
No, it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me at all. Mini news.
I love this one. I absolutely love this. So imagine you're Andrew Garfield, right? Your ex is like Emma Stone. You're like doing this whole thing where you're telling people that you're not in Spider-Man, and everywhere you go, people are asking you. And then imagine like your ex starts contacting you and says, "Are you in Spider-Man? Tell me, are you in Spider-Man?" And he didn't even tell her. Like he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why people keep asking me this. I'm not in Spider-Man."
And then she went to see it and then texted back, "You're a jerk." I do love that they still have like they're on speaking terms, like friendly with each other, despite the fact that they were dating back in the day. I do like that.
That's such a funny thing, like you're a jerk.
But there has been a lot of talk where people want her to come back as Spider-Gwen.
I would not be opposed to that.
Now, you want your introduction to a live-action Gwen Stacy Spider-Gwen to be, an adult that you want to start, kind of like how the character does in Into the Spider-Verse as a teenage.
They'll put makeup on her. They'll shoot her in a particular way. She doesn't look particularly old.
I'm not saying she's old. I'm talking about she's an adult, and the characters work best when they're teenagers because he has to. But
he's like
Holland.
He's going into university now.
I'd rather see a new Gwen.
She could still pass as a university student.
No, because she has to exist with Garfield, and we know Garfield's character's an older man.
Yeah, but she could be the Gwen in this universe, right?
That gets messy.
Because now, think about it. They're going to have to bring in a Gwen, right? Because now he doesn't know MJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have to bring in like another love interest, right?
I reckon it'll be Black Cat. Basically,
Felicia Harding.
Yes, she's basically like how Catwoman is with Batman. It's exactly the same. Black Cat.
It's really weird in the cartoon because it kind of looks like she's also like doing spider webs to like swing around the city.
Oh, okay. I have to catch up to that. Yeah, I don't think she has webs. But yeah, Spider-Gwen's fuck it. Black Cat's my. Oh, she's even popped up there then. You really are getting to see all of the extended universe up in there
Oh
then, man.
God, mate! It's like you kind of think like, how come they've never explored like any of these other like additional characters in the films?
Yeah, they just keep
It-
stopping and starting again with all the same old
yeah,
ones.
yeah. There is so much.
Okay, so we'll end on a down note. Mo, you want to do the honors?
So Netflix. Did we not talk about this already? But Netflix plans to shoot 2 Red Notice sequels back to back.
Well, that's mini news. You don't have to get into it too deeply, but back to back. They're not going to do this until 2023, so we ain't really going to have to put up with seeing The Rock play this road again until 2024 at least. So you got some time to recover.
Well, the very first thing, Eddie, just because it's there doesn't mean you have to watch it.
Yeah, I do because
Although I know you love The Rock so much. You're like, are you going to sit there and you're going to be like, get the popcorn out, you're going to watch it? What was it? It was like their 3rd most viewed movie ever.
I think they say it's the biggest, the most.
There,
He said it was the most.
It was like some sort of metric like that changes depending on how you look at it. I think the most streaming hours. Oh God, I can't remember. But it was a huge hit for them,
The
right?
Rock let
The fact
his
that
modesty slip, and he even said that if you add up all the minutes of people watched, then more people saw Red Notice than saw Avengers Endgame. I'm thinking, oh, you cock.
Listen, the man is proud of his achievements.
Of a shit film.
Doesn't matter if it's shit. People watched it.
It was annoyingly watchable.
They're making 2 more of it. It was watchable, but I think it was more watchable because of Ryan Reynolds than The Rock.
Yeah. Ryan was the star of this. Hopefully they'll remember that, whoever has to write these scripts, because it weren't The Rock.
He really does need to loosen up a little bit.
He does. What do you mean, physically or his character? Because I don't think as an actor he can.
As in his acting, right? If he could kind of match the energy of Ryan Reynolds, and I know that's hard because like Ryan Reynolds is a national treasure type thing.
You can't keep up with the dude, man. It's too fast. It's too fast. He does it with Kevin Hart. Seems to manage to find that groove with all the millions of films.
I didn't even make it through. I think like halfway through that film.
What, Jumanji?
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking about the other one. Central Intelligence.
Oh yeah, that was shit. That was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad. Right. You got a first look at Batgirl, the new costume. What did you think, Mo?
It kind of looks like they haven't spent a lot of money on that costume, right? Compared to like. But then I thought, is this a film or is this a TV?
So anyway, we got any letters this week, Mo?
Nothing for us this week to.
Why? Why people are you so cruel? Why do you want to talk to us? Write us, Mo. How can they do so?
If you want to write to us, folks, you can do that via email at tatmpodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at talkingmovies3, or you can follow us on Instagram at talkingatthemovies.
You even check the Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got it on my phone. It's there.
So guys, if you wanna check us out, don't forget Vulture Network on YouTube. We also can check me out on DC vs. Marvel podcast if you want more superhero focused conversation. You can check me out in there. So from me, Reese.
And me, Mo.
Catch you guys next week. Later.
See you, folks. Directing duo of Adli Ali Arabi and Bilal Falal. Sorry if I butchered your names, guys. Behind the camera. And oh my god, Birds of Prey. Who? Birds of Prey's Christina Hodson on script duty. Like literally, that was probably one of the worst. Well, I'll say one of them. It wasn't the worst because there is one worse. That still goes to the original Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. But Birds of Prey was not a good film.
A lot of people like it though. Oh, man, it's amazing that I haven't watched that since it came out, and I usually watch these films like 5 times at least.
I literally could not wait for that thing to end. It was torture. It literally was a style over substance type film.
Yeah.
It was a very pretty looking film, but I just couldn't connect with anyone. Principally, I've got nothing against a Batwoman movie, right? It could be good, could be interesting.
Could be great.
As you said, Michael Keaton will show up. Apparently, Brandon Fraser will be in it as well.